Hi, welcome to a new video. In this video I want to talk about whether it's actually worth putting a diesel heater into a little camper like this. Because I mean, I've had my diesel heater in here now just for over 12 months, so I want to just share my experience. So I hope you stay with me for this little video. Well, yeah, first of all, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, basically this is a little Peugeot partner that I converted into a camper around about 3.5 years ago now. And I never had any heating in it as such. I had an electric blanket, but I took the plunge for a diesel heater because I didn't design it well with it. I'll put a link to a video up here or here for how I actually fitted it and everything else, because I went for an all-in-one diesel heater, which is basically just the separates in a box basically. And the reason behind that was it was to do with the fuel tank, because when you get the other one you get a bigger fuel tank, and I've got not the space, not the location to put it, and this one had got a smaller one, and if I would have bought the other one it would have took it up to the same price, and it was easier to do that. The only thing for going for an all-in-one unit is that you've got, instead of just drilling a hole like about 200 centimetres that you can put plating, that your inlet and your outlet come out, this, because it's raised off the ground, you can't, it's not flat enough. So then with this, what I had to do is drill 2 smaller holes for the inlet and outlet and seal those up. Because I've had it in over 12 months, I do keep a check on it, but I just thought I'd just check all of this, because I haven't had it switched on now, because I haven't, unfortunately, due to a spinal problem, I haven't been away for like the last few months, so I haven't really used it. So I just wanted to just check to make sure there was no leaks, no carbon monoxide or anything like that. Like, I've just had it running on the medium setting for around about 10-15 minutes with all the doors shut while I was in the house, and basically check the carbon monoxide detector, and yeah, it was 0, so there is no leaks or anything else, and I've checked under there. Because if you're doing this as well, and I would always, even with the smaller ones, extend your pipes out. So my exhaust is actually attached to my main exhaust on the back of the car, and the inlet is just by the side of like the passenger door here, so they're basically a difference. So you don't want it pulling in your exhaust gas, because then that can go around, and you know, that's pretty dangerous. Again, if you fit in one of these or anything else and you're unsure, get someone else to do it, get someone in the know, because carbon monoxide can be very deadly, so you've always got to be careful with that. I mean, like last year I went away to the Lake District for about 3 nights and then into Blackpool and bits and pieces, and it was a bit chilly, and I do use the diesel heater. The one thing I do is just put it on for like around about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then turn it off for about half an hour or so, and then turn it back on again. Because the thing is being a small camper, you don't need that much heating in a sense, because you're only eating a small area like this. And having this on, and as well the all-in-one one that I got, I didn't think, and it's an 8 kilowatt one, so that's basically a lot of heat for a smaller one from this. What I should have done is replaced it for a 2 kilowatt, because I never have it on overnight. If I wake up in the middle of the night, then I just turn it on. I mean, my outlet is just here, and basically if I just put my hand even like a foot away, it's really hot. So like I say, in a camper like that, the advantage you've got is you've got like the twisty bit here that I can then move down so it's not going as much more. I have it facing to the back, and then it reflects off and then goes back into the camper. And the advantage that I've got as well is if the bed is out, because this bit moves over where I'm sitting, the bed is, this pulls out here and then that opens up. It allows a channel to then go, in a sense, round about the area that's free by the one back door that I used for the main entrance to get in and out. So it then, at least it's warming it up. And the one thing then, it's warming up, because like it's just wood underneath here, it's then warming that up, so in a sense your mattress is warm as well. So it's kind of like an electric blanket, but like I say, I don't need it on that much. And like I say, that's the thing, is being in such a small space, is it actually worth the space that you're going to be using to put a diesel heater in? Because again, I talked about this in another video, like the storage, you are limited for space in here. So taking up a large amount of space for heating, is it actually worth it? Now for me, it has been worth it. Even like with me, because I've got this spinal problem, I don't use this van as much as going away as much as possible. I just can't do it as much. But even if I've gone out for a walk for a few hours, like today, you know, it is a bit cold, even if I'd gone out for a walk, I just can get back in here, you know, just have the heater on, do myself a cup of coffee, you know, wait around for like half an hour to an hour before my medication kits seem to be able to drive again. So even for like a little bit of a day out, for me, it's actually been worth it for the actual space that it actually takes. But then again, dependent on your van and things like that, you may find, well, that space, you need it for something else. I mean, it's only me in this van. I mean, yes, there's been other people with me. So at the end of the day, we've been able to cope having it that space and still clothes. You know, I've got my quilt under there and everything. So it's absolutely been fine for that. I mean, fuel wise, I don't use that much fuel. I just top up a litre or so every so often. Again, because I'm not using it permanently. Again, not a big space. You don't need to heat it that much, like I've just said. So your fuel isn't that much. The main thing is the battery and your power, because basically I've got a 110 amp hour battery in here. It's not got a split charger, so it doesn't charge while driving, and I've got a little solar panel on the top. I mean, most of my electrics are running on 5 volts, like I've got LED lighting up there as well. I've got, because I go out for photography, so it is mainly my cameras, my tablet, my phone. But I mean, my phone and tablet, or my mainly phone, is always plugged in while I'm driving anyway for sat nav and things like that. With this, it does run off a 12 volt. Now, when you first start it up, it needs a lot more oomph just to get it going, which is like a few amps. And then when it settles down, from what I've seen on other videos, that can be like, you know, half an amp to 3/4 of an amp per hour that you're actually using it. So really, in the long run, it's not that bad. And again, you know, if we do have any sun, my solar panel can just top that up enough. So you have got to think of your power as well, you know, because again, dependent on the system that you've got in here. I mean, if you have got one like the lithium power bank type of big things, then they can actually run off that, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Like I say, I run off the old lead acid type of leisure battery. I mean, the one thing that I did with mine, again, have a look at the other video and you can see how I actually did it. But because I went for the all-in-one, you've got the little control panel on the front. Well, I extended that up to the top here, so it's easy access instead of it there, because it is in like a little cabinet here, and it would have been awkward just to get to it. So I've just extended that up. But if you've got the individual ones, then that comes as that. You do get a little remote to turn it on. To be honest, I haven't actually used that at all. I mean, the one thing is they do take a little bit of time just to heat up. Normally it's only a few minutes. If you are really cold and you wake up in the night, you've got one of these and you want to turn it on, then yeah, you're going to have to wait like, you know, maybe 5 minutes before the air starts to actually warm up. But again, being a small space, like I say, it then keeps it warm. The one thing I did mean to mention was the actual pump, especially with the cheap Chinese diesel heaters, because you get the click, 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 click sound all the time as it's pumping. The higher the temperature that you've got, the more clicks that you get quicker, and the lower the temperature, it's just then click, click, click. And where I've got mine, that's where I would normally have my head, so you do hear it slightly. But you do kind of get used to it, and it's not really that bad. And again, from the outside, you do get like just like a sound. So you do have to think with a diesel heater where you are and when you're putting it on. If there's other campers around, you'll find that you're hearing everybody's diesel heater, the exhaust going as well. And so that, you know, it's just one of those things. There was a time where I'd just been out and I got back to the van, it was cold and my body just didn't like me. So I had to stay in the van for a little bit just to get medication in me and everything else. And I got the diesel heater on, and someone parked in the car next to me. When they come back to the car, they looked around the car. Now I've got windows all around the car so you can see I'm all blacked out, but no one could actually see directly in unless you come up close. And they were thinking, what's that? So I opened the door, and they you know, they was just wondering, because, you know, that's what you've got to think about, is just the slight noise. I mean, the one thing to do, whether you've got a diesel heater in one of these or a bigger van or anything else, if you haven't used it in like a month or so, just turn it on, just to get it any soot or anything there. Because like when I've just turned this on first time in like about a month, basically there was just a little bit of a smell just come from it, because there was probably the build-up of the soot. Because I mean, when you do turn them off, don't just disconnect it from the power, do go to using the shutdown. You press and hold the power button. Again, each one's different, the control panels are different, but mine, just press and hold it down and then it actually turns off. It just goes down to like it's shutting off process and things like that. And that again, it takes a minute or two, something like that. So I mean, at the end of the day, has it been worth it for me having the diesel heater in this vehicle? Now personally, yes, it has, for the times that I've actually used it. Even like I say, you know, even if I'm just, like I said, out somewhere and I just want to put it on, or I am away, I don't use it permanently. I don't, like I said, I don't have it on overnight, so I can't say on that. Because if you've got a 2 kilowatt one, that you probably find an 8 kilowatt one in this, you can't, the temperature can't go low enough, if you know what I mean, because it's always still going to be really, really hot. So yeah, I mean, for me, it'd been absolutely worth it. And again, I mean, this was like, I think about 80, 90 quid at the time. I mean, prices have gone up since then, as we all know. So if you can fit one and you've got the space to actually do it, I would definitely go for it, because then if you do want to use these in the winter or when it's cold, I mean, we are in England, think of it like that. So at the end of the day, you know, it's always useful just to have some heat there. And yes, it's took a little bit of space, but realistically, I haven't missed it. I've been able to move things around and things like that. Again, have a look at one of my videos talking about how I deal with the storage and stuff like that. So anyway, I just hope you found this a little bit informative, and that, you know, if you are looking for one for a small van, you know, and you got the space, go for it. At the end of the day, it's been worth it for me anyway. And again, like I say, again, disclaimer on this, if you are unsure about fitting one yourself, again, seek professional help to actually get it fitted and stuff like that. I mean, I deal with ponds, I deal with piping, I deal with all these kind of things all the time, and seals and water leaks and everything else. Yes, this is gas, it's fuel and things like that, but I do know what I'm doing. That's why I always check, just to make sure the seals are actually fine and everything else. I've got the filter. I mean, I've just noticed mine's dangling down slightly because I've cable tied it up and it just needs to go up a little bit, so I've just got to sort that out. And that's what today was just for me to actually just make sure it was working, and I just thought I'd just do a little bit of video on it anyway. So anyway, I hope, like I say, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of me about in the camper, because I am about to go away soon, and as well, I'm just literally, as of today, starting to look for new vehicles, and there's a few I've just seen. I've just got to get in touch with brother-in-law, and we're just going to sort something out. But yeah, it's like I'm looking at like the Vauxhall Vivaro kind of size. So yes, just something a little bit bigger, and as well, I want something as a project, because I don't want one fitted out. I want to be able to build it and then share it with you, just to show. Because again, if you want to see the videos on how I built this, again, links in the description. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now. Bye.